Good afternoon, I'm Tavis, and today, with the help of my team, we're going to inform you on child obesity. Before we get started, I'd like to give you some statistics. The first one being 1 in every 3 Americans is obese. Now, think about that. 1 in every 3, that's young child all the way to an adult or elderly. That is a pretty scary thought right there. So if you had 9 people in your circle of friends and family, then that would be 3 people are obese. Just kind of scary thought to when you think about it. So some more alarming facts to go with that is the top 3 countries with the highest child obesity rates are Mexico, the United States, and New Zealand. On the other end of that spectrum, the good side, you have Japan, which is the lowest, then you have Korea in second, and then third you have Switzerland. The leading factors are community design, the second one is physical activity, and the last one is the use of the common car. Which is kind of funny because if you relate the bottom two, physical activity and the use of the common car, people who actually live close to the gym will drive to the gym and work out, when if they, in the long run, if they just walk to the gym, it would have been a better workout. It's kind of funny. And then think about the use of the common car since 1900 from till today. Now, child obesity is defined as a medical condition in which excess body fat has accumulated to the extent that it has adverse effects on the health, leading to lower life expectancy and health problems and or death. Now, it talks about BMI. It's 20% or more of what your BMI should be. So you can go to Google or whatever and do a BMI search. It'll give you a chart, and then you can tell if you're obese or not. Our group's credibility is that we're not experts. However, we have done extensive research, and this is what we have come up with. And I hope that you find it informative today. I'd like to turn it over to Carlos now so that he can give you the effects that it has on the obese children themselves. Thank you, and here's Carlos.
Thank you, Tavis, for that powerful introduction on child obesity. Now that we know what child obesity is, I want to inform you guys on exactly what it does to our youth. Child obesity is becoming an epidemic that is sweeping over the U.S. and all over the world. Obesity is a common problem in all age groups. But statistics show that ages 6 to 11 are in the high-risk group. In fact, 1 in every 5 children in the world is obese. These children are more susceptible to develop type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, sleep apnea, and cardiovascular diseases. Apart from causing various health effects, obesity in children also causes the following social and emotional effects that lead to depression, low self-esteem, and possible suicide. These are just some of the health issues associated with children being obese. Of the many statistics about child obesity, one in particular highlights the urgency of the problem. That is, child obesity is more than tripled in the past 30 years. Research studies prove that obesity and depression are conversely proportional. Among obesity children, social and stigma that makes them withdraw from socializing with their peers. They develop a poor image of themselves about people not liking them at all. As society views obesity as a negative symptom, child obesity are looked at as different and not able to associate themselves with their peers. How did we get to this place? And more important, how are we going to tackle this epidemic? As we explore those questions, I will be handing it over to Lynette, who will be informing you on the effects that child obesity has on our family. Lynette.
Thank you, Carlos. You did an excellent job going over the negative effects child obesity has on children. My name is Lynette Poole, and I'm going to inform you on a few of the negative effects child obesity has on families. First, I would like to begin with the initial effect that the parents had on the child as a baby that started the actual obesity issue. Many researchers argue that obesity is genetic, or if one of the child's parents has weight issues, then it's common for the child. But it also has been argued that parents tend to deliver the wrong message with food consumption by giving the child more food at times as a way to reduce stress. Later on in life, as the baby grows into childhood, they have disturbed eating patterns, which can easily create weight gain. Now that the child is obese, some parents, if they have weight issues themselves, usually don't stress the issue as if it's a problem. which is a dilemma within itself. If the parents do not have weight issues and the child is obese, most parents tend to put a lot of stress on their children as far as trying to keep them active and watching what they are eating, because as parents, they want to help their child as much as they possibly can. Not only is this stressful for the parents, but it also puts a lot of stress on the child, which in return intensifies their eating behaviors. With all of this stress within the household, it creates a very sad and depressing lifestyle for the entire family. Now Colorado will discuss the negative effects child obesity has on society. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynette. Hello, I'm Colette, and I'm going to educate you on what our society thinks about obese children. In many households, the parents work late, meaning that there's a lot of fast food being eaten. This is making it hard to ensure that the children are eating right. Even the schools have started serving things like pizza, chicken nuggets, etc. Overweight children are frequent targets of teasing and harassment from their peers, and school is the most common setting where it occurs. Factors that usually play a role in the risk of being bullied, such as gender, race, and family income levels, doesn't seem to matter at all if you're overweight. Being overweight or obese trumps all those factors when it comes to aggressive behavior from other children. Bullying can be expressed verbally or through social exclusion from peer activities. Weight bias has a range of negative consequences for people who are overweight or obese. Emotional consequences of bias include increased vulnerability to depression and anxiety, low self-esteem, and poor body image. People who are not overweight usually have a negative attitude compared to those who are overweight by believing and accepting common stereotypes like obese people are lazy and not doing anything about it. But because of these stereotypes, obese youths who are victimized by their peers are likely to engage in suicidal thoughts and behavior. On a positive note, there are new campaigns like Let's Move by Michelle Obama and other organizational groups like the NFL to stop obesity and change the ways. I think having a positive role model who seems interested in helping to change obesity will motivate children who are fighting with this issue.
Thanks, Lynn. Hello, I'm Dwayne, and in closing, I just want to reiterate how important childhood obesity is. This is something that we all have to deal with and play our part in order to help cure it. Otherwise, it will continue to get out of hand. There are lots of negative effects that childhood obesity can have on our children. Everything from the physical effects of not being able to do the same thing that certain children are, to the psychological effects of the child wondering if this is just a way of life for them. As a child, no one should be made fun of due to their appearance. That is something that no child should ever have to deal with mentally for the rest of their lives. It also has negative effects on our families. The families of children hear the negative comments, the looks their children receive, even the struggles of having to shop in certain sections at a clothing store. So this disease not only plays a role mentally on the child that's obese, but also the parents and the family. The negative effects that society has on children is something that can truly hurt them in the long run. Society tends to look at children as if they're different and incapable of doing the things that what they consider normal. Even though children are overweight, there's no reason for society to ridicule them or make fun of them. Instead of viewing them as lazy or abnormal, they need to look past what they see and understand that this is just a disease and not the individual. So as a group, we need to offer guidance and any knowledge that we have in order to help them to live a healthier lifestyle. Not everyone knows what can be done, but we can all work together on educating them and anyone else that needs help in this area. Whatever needs to be done to save a child's life should be done. I would like to thank my audience for listening, our wonderful professor. I would like to thank my group members, Tavis, Carlos, and Lynette, for a wonderful collaboration, and thank you.